Well, I guess you guys thought we dropped off the face of the earth, but we haven't. We've gotten through all the Christmas and New Year's stuff, and here we are again with another video. Yay! So we're continuing on. So this is move 45, I think it is. So the right kick. So we're going to get into that right away. And also got a couple questions. I've been a little bit delinquent on answering some of your comments and questions, so we're going to answer a couple of them on the video here, so hang in there. We'll be right back. Okay, well, so glad to be back, and from both of us, Happy New You. It's a great way to start the year, working on your Tai Chi, making a better you, so Happy New You. This move for this week is kick right. So we're going to kick with the right, number 45, kicking with the right heel. This is the first of two kicks that come up fairly close together. So we're going to kick right, and then we're going to chase a couple of tigers around, kick right again, and then strike some ears. But in this video, we're just going to kick right. So a couple of things you want to pay attention to as we work on this with the alignments, and will help with the balance and everything. Okay, so going from the chop with fist, we've done turn with chop with fist, chop with fist. So we're going straight in this direction. So as I'm going with the camera, you step, you deflect parry punch. Now at this one, you're going to turn the left foot out to 45. And there are different ways to do it, but generally you're going to bring the arms together, come up onto the left leg, the right foot comes up, and you kick out. So notice the right arm and right leg line up. The left arm is back, but not straight back. You want to have it out to the side in line more or less with the shoulders. You're going to kick, and then you're going to put the foot down to go into the strike tiger. But let's go through that again. So when you come up, you want to push with the leg, cross hands, open, and open up with the leg. When you step down, just put the foot down and then push from the back foot, and the hands come to the front, palms up. So just like you're doing the bouquet of flowers with chop with fist, when you do the pas qua step, same kind of idea. So with the chop with fist, you pivot, and the hands come up as you stand. So with the kick right, same thing happens. From the punch, you pivot, come up, cross, open, kick, and then put the foot down at 45 and push from the left leg, stand up into the right. So you want to come right up into the right leg, up through the top of the head. And the arms express as you do that. A couple of things that happen for people, and if you're somewhat tight, maybe even a little off balance, which I don't know who that happens to, but me. Shelley says, me too. So when you punch here, you pivot to the 45, the body turns to the 45. So don't try and stand up with the body straight ahead, because you're going the wrong direction. So you want to turn, follow the foot. So you pivot, you want to scoop up, cross, come up, and then open. Now when you step down, just keep the balance in that left leg and put the foot down. Don't fall onto it. You want to relax into that left leg, keep the balance, keep the expression there, so you can push out of that leg to come up into the right leg. And it all kind of happens fairly quickly when you're going through the set. Open, kick right, when you get your balance, and then put the foot down, push up into the right leg, because then you're going to relax again down to step to do the strike tigers. keeping the angles, keeping the body turning so you can sit into the hips. And I'll do it again from this direction so you can see. So here, you relax down, and when you pivot, scoop, come up. My hips are now turned to the 45, so this leg can come through and kick. They stay at the 45, I come up, and I'm still at the 45. And then when I go back down, I'm going to sit into this hip so that I can step out for my Toyu step to do straight tiger. So keep in mind, all these steps set each other up based on the Toyus, the Danyus, all the foundations. So, punch. I'll try not to wobble this time. Up, open, kick, put the foot down, push, and stand up, palms up. It's like a bouquet of flowers on the right side. And this, the arms and body line up with the right foot. So you're going in that direction. So you want the hands in front. You don't want them throwing the bouquet over your shoulders. There's this expression up in front of the body so that you can get into the next step. So hopefully that all helps. So I want to address a couple of comments, but we're going to do the follow through first. And I get some heavy head nodding, shaking going on behind the camera here. So yes, we will answer some comments right after we do the follow along. So here we go. So we're going to take it from the chop with fist, the pakwa step, chop with fist, do the deflect parry punch, and then up into the kick. So standing on the left leg, bouquet of flowers. So this is exactly the same as when we go into the finish the kick. So bouquet of flowers here, pakwa step, chop with the fist, push out, deflect parry punch coming up. So relax and step, deflect parry punch, pivot the foot out to 45, the body turns to 45, scoop up, open, wobble, kick, put the foot down, come up with the bouquet of flowers. The wobble is optional. So once again, bouquet of flowers for chop with fist. Pakwa step, chop out, push, up, relax and step, deflect parry punch. Pivot the foot, up and cross, right heel kick, pause, try not to, holy mackerel, up, bouquet flowers. So you're balanced now on the right leg. Shelley says let's try that again. On the left foot, pakwa step, chop. Wow! This is a tricky one. Let's do that again. Up, deflect parry punch. Put the foot down, up with the bouquet. Okay, that's enough of that.
Try from the other angle?
Okay, we'll do it maybe from going this direction. She just wants to see me wobble some more.
Mm-hmm.
Little punch here, so you're squared to the front, and then pivot, open, turn to 45. Hang on, let's do chop with fist. Wow, see what happens when you take time off?
You know what that means.
Gotta practice more.
No more time off.
No more time off. Pakwa step. Chop. Step up, deflect parry punch. Pivot, turn the body, up and cross. open, kick, step down, stand up. Let's try that again.
One more time.
One more time.
You know what that means.
About 10 more times. Okay, so play with it. Again, just pay attention to the alignments, pay attention to the foundations, try and fit all that in, practice it lots, have fun with it. Okay, so we had a couple of comments, and somebody was asking about the hand positions. It's Jeff and Lauren, so this is for you guys. The hand positions in Grassbird's tail and the Carry Tiger to Mountain, the second part of it, where you're pushing on the wrist. And once again, I apologize for not getting back to you quicker. Been terribly busy building harps and all that kind of stuff. So just to give you the idea, the Grassbird's tail and the wrist push part in Carry Tiger to Mountain is pretty much the same thing. So with Grassbird's tail, when you push, the first one is left finger, center finger lining up underneath the wrist joint. Some people call it checking the pulse. Some people like to touch the wrist. Some people don't. The way I've always been taught is the finger lines up under the wrist, so both hands are pressing out, right hand palm in towards you. Then they turn, open. So this is just like in Carry Tiger to Mountain. Then when they come together again, your palm pushing on the heel of the right wrist. Some people will push right on the wrist. I don't think it matters a whole bunch, just whatever gets comfortable. Pushing palm to palm, you're going to end up pushing your hand backwards if you're pushing hard. So pushing on the heel, wrist, somewhere in that area. Some people like to put the left thumb underneath, and that's fine. Just make sure that you don't grab the wrist and push it. The hand is open, so both hands are open when you push. Some people have the thumb on top. It doesn't matter a whole bunch as long as you're getting that expression. I generally have the thumb underneath the arm just because it kind of gives it more room. You can have the left hand turned over a little bit, so that very much like in the foundation exercise, this arm rotations, where the fingers are on the center line. So Grassbird's tail can be the same thing, as long as you're not lifting the shoulders and elbows up. There's a sort of a roundness in the arms as you push, so it's just pushing out there, pushing away, almost a relaxing down and pushing. So as you relax into the front leg, just let the arms express out and keep the shoulders, elbows relaxed but expressing. So you're pushing on the heel wrist area. And then of course the last one is two-handed push. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. So hope that helps you guys. And again, my apologies. So play around with that. Now I've had another question. I've had this question a few times. And there's different ways of doing Tai Chi. There's different forms of Tai Chi, different ways of practicing the forms. It's been well noted that Mr. Moy didn't follow the traditional elements of some of the traditional elements of Tai Chi in the Yang form, and opting for a different way of working the body. And he got approval from his teachers to make these modifications. So one of the things that people comment quite a bit about is the forward angle of the body when we're doing a forward expression. And when you're pushing forward with a Toyu, it's generally viewed as leaning forward. But if you go back to the principles and the alignments that Mr. Moy has kind of set out for us, is from the heel to the head is a straight line. So this is generally not leaning, because when you look at it, if my weight is balanced in this leg, my arms are expressing, the back leg is back, there's a connection here. So I'm going to be balanced here, but because my hips are sitting down, my body has to angle to keep that line from heel to head. And then you get a good expression. That expression is what's helping to work the spinal column. So there's a rotational aspect and an expansion aspect, which gives you that spiraling action out the spine. If you're trying to keep it too vertical, you can end up putting tension back here. There's different ways to do it, and if you're doing a different style, then there'll be a different expression, and what your teacher's teaching you may be different, and nothing wrong with it. It's just a different way of practicing. Different reasons for that maybe. So when we're practicing what we do, the angling of the body is to allow the spine to stretch out. And then you come back, open, relax down into it, connect, and then express again. Expression comes from the back leg, not the body pushing out. So sometimes people do lean. The head does go forward because the spine is expressing. So, not meaning to get into a debate or anything, but that's what Mr. Moy taught. And his teachers approved of it, and his teachers are well known, Lang Zupang and all those guys. Check out the lineage. Mr. Moy had a very different focus on what he was teaching in the Tai Chi, or through the Tai Chi. So hopefully that'll make sense to you. And once again, if you're doing something different, that's great. I mean, there's lots of ways to do it, lots of reasons for practicing different ways. And Mr. Moy used to modify and change things depending on the person's ability and needs for their body. So even lots of ways to practice even within this style. So anyway, that about wraps it up for today. So once again, Happy New Year from both of us, and looking forward to getting back into doing videos regular for you. I'm going to be doing some workshops coming up here. We'll let you know more about that as we get closer in February. So maybe we'll get a chance to see you there if you can make it to those workshops. Wonderful. Okay, so take care. We'll see you again. Like us on Facebook, check out the website, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and have fun.